Hey everybody, L here, and today's shape is another Challengers Cup game, and we have Lava Jackals, chosen of Papa Nurgle, up against Mr. Leibniz's Kopi Luwak. So Nurgle versus High Elves. Nurgle coming from G-Man 3B, and the High Elves coming out of 5C. Fresh team, right into the meat grinder here, up against this Nurgle team, which I have on the screen right now. They are. Hey, Incesticide, and hey, Dreamify. Thank you guys for joining me. So happy that you could be here. Dreamify, as the expert on these teams, then, if you're recapping them, let me know if I miss anything. So, this is a terrifying Nurgle team. I mean, he went super greedy, guard after Mighty Blow on one guy and after Mighty Blow Claw on the other three. This team just wants to murder people. These Nurgle warriors are all terrifying. Um, this is a scary team. The only thing that Leibniz has going for him really is that it's only got 2 tackle. Um, so it may struggle a little bit with some of his blodge, but this team would scare the crap out of me. And High Elves liking their armor. Well, let's take a look at them next. Here is Mr. Leibniz's Kopi Luwak, 1860, much more respectable team value. Fairly standard. It doesn't look like they have any strip ball. This movement sidestep wrestle guy might be able to slip in somewhere. But it doesn't look like they have a fully dedicated stacker yet. So I think that this is going to be a very painful game. Again, like yesterday I was casting the snuff film that was Hornstar's dismantling a poor Dark Elf team. And so today we might be in for another slaughterfest. I always like it when people die. But I hope these elves don't just all immediately perish. Yeah, exactly. It's a very standard high elf team. The 4 doubles are really lucky. He's got 2 guard and 2 mighty blow, so he can actually stand up a little bit. But those Nurgle warriors, I worry. I worry for Leibniz. Those Nurgle warriors are gonna yeah, exactly. It's a really good 1 season team. Unfortunately, he's facing multi-season Nurgle who are ready to just commit brutal, crushing murder. So, yeah, let me keep an eye on my Discord because they have mentioned to me that they are good to go a little bit after now. Yep, 1800 UTC. So, they should be starting in the next 5 or so minutes. Um, until then, I guess we can just talk about this crazy matchup. I genuinely fear for these elves. They will be able to get it looks like they will be able to get a wizard, which will help them quite a bit. But this is going to be a really uphill battle for the high elves. They could always get lucky, especially if you get lucky at the very beginning. You know, if you get a few lucky removals, then that's all you need. And you have Mighty Blow to make that a little more likely. So it's not that he doesn't have a path to victory. The question is it is it going to kill his team to do it? Pop out of here now and hit Cabal TV. I don't think there are any other playoff games going right now. Oh, look at that. They're up already. Good on them. Here we go, everybody. Roomy in this casting box by myself. Hey, Auburn Wings. Welcome to the game. Alright, so it looks like the elves are on offense first here. Chosen to pop a Nurgle with the +1 fame. The elves taking the wizard as expected. Skills on. Pretty conservative defensive setup here for the Nurgle. I don't hate it. But he could definitely try going more aggressive. He must be worried with the 2 guard that if he tries stacking the line, it won't work out. Or, alternately, he's worried about the speed of the elves and he doesn't want his Nurgle warriors so far forward and already tied up. Those are both valid reasons to set up that way. I don't hate either of them. And let's see how Leibniz deals with the beast on the line like that. Usually if I'm going to put my beasts on the line, I like to put them with the warriors, but this is pretty decent with the high elves. He could commit everybody to trying to hit them. Yeah, to turn and defend. That would probably be my plan too, as the high elves incesticide. You just gotta hope that something goes really right for you, because it could so easily go wrong. But I agree with you. Yeah, the tough thing is if you don't touch the beast on the line, you could always get a blitz, and then he can slug himself into somewhere that's even more inconvenient for you. Yeah, he's gonna need all the time that he can in order to turn them over, because if he's not 2-0 by the end of this half, he may end up drawing and going into overtime. And the longer this game lasts, the fewer elves there are likely to be. So he's going to want to move things along as quickly as he can. So I don't hate this setup. He's clearly not intending to fight on the line of scrimmage. He might hit those rotters, but it's not his priority. And he's prepared to go either way, and he's relatively well protected from a blitz as well. Really, I think it's the most that you can hope for. And a pitch invasion. That is a bad thing for the elves, considering there are now 3 elves standing and 3 Nurgle warriors went out. I have a feeling that this game might be over before it begins. That was just brutal, and it's an example of Lava Jackal's +1 to fame there. Definitely kicked in and helped with all these stuns on the elf side. Yeah, that might just end the game right there. I'd imagine that this delay here is Mr. Leibniz saying some very naughty words at a very high volume. We'll see how it goes, but I now fear for the elves even more because they're just going to be set up to be like punched upon. It is a lot for +1 fame holes. Absolutely, I agree with you. +2 fame occasionally does that. But yeah, the Nurgle's going to have a hard time taking full advantage of this carnage. And the Nurgle warriors being out is probably really frustrating, because it's a lot harder to capitalize on this situation with them all taking a nap as well. That is exactly where I want him to go. Take out as many of these elves as possible. And you can always bring in the Nurgle warrior for support, which he does. So, I mean, these 3 are not having the best day. And he can still dodge out on a 2+, but only for the moment. So that's pretty secure over on that side. And how do you not blitz with the claw palm every turn? That's that's what I was saying yesterday. Not even an armor break. That's really disappointing. I can see why he'd run away after that. He could definitely get swarmed if he doesn't get out of there. You don't want to kill her like that to take any hits you don't have to. And a lovely foul. We're going after the mighty blow. Not a terrible choice. Nothing happens. Fail to break armor on a 3. Now the elves all get to get up. That could have been a lot worse for them. Definitely a situation I would take my time to think about. This is, he's apparently signaling that he's going left. Now, it's always interesting to me when you see a ball carrier in the backfield like this on an elf team so committed to one side, because from the middle you can really easily reach both sides. I don't think he's vulnerable there. This Nurgle warrior is not going to go charging at him. You don't gain a lot of extra movement as long as people don't get in the wings. Because you can just move diagonal at the same cost as moving straight forward. Oh, that double skull is not pleasant for the elves at all. Nuffle does not have their side today. Just getting a push after a double skull. That Frenzy Pestigore is not the most scary, but he could definitely become something terrifying in the future. It's always nice to have a surfing piece. Hey, Iceblade, welcome to the stream. Oh, that's painful. And into an injury. Fail a snake's dodge into an injury. Badly hurt and no Apo. He is off the field. Yeah, that's how elves dodge. That's how we do it around here. Doesn't get much safer than a dodge with dodge. As killy as this Nurgle team is, I wouldn't want to be removing my own players. This guy, I think, is going to get claw-palmed in the face. I have this premonition of him dying horribly in the next few seconds here. We'll see if that premonition is correct. Oh, look at that. He does. And he gets hit. He gets really hit. He's like, now where do I go? No damage. And the piling on. No damage. And then we try the same foul again. Stun him at the cost of our dirty player. So Nurgle not really having the best day with these removals. They really would have liked to kill one of those two pieces. And now the field position is again even. We have one injured high elf over here in the corner. Rookie lineman. And we've got a dirty player sent off. Nurgle, of course, having slightly more bench, but field presence is, you know, still on the elf side. Both teams removing their own players at a much higher rate than the opposing team's players. Not a terrible blitz. Trying to decide if he wants to stay where he is. I don't hate staying there. Keeping him tied up. With these Nurgle warriors up and mobile now, you do have a lot of strength coming at you on this left-hand side. I do like how Lava Jackal has spread out his forces here. Plenty of strength in both areas of the field, and these guys can keep the left hand. As long as one of them doesn't get hurt too badly, they can keep control of the field. Hey, Donkey Dragon. Personally, as an impartial caster, I'm cheering for the elf team to not be completely deleted, because I don't think he deserves that. Any other result is fine. I'm not partial to who wins. I just don't want the elf team to be completely destroyed, because it's a great one-season team, and it doesn't deserve to end like this. Alright, so we have one failed dodge out of tentacles and then one successful dodge out of tentacles. He can't believe his good fortune, and he's trying to decide where to go now. It's almost like he didn't expect to succeed that. Exactly, Incesticide. I think everybody likes to see the underdog win every once in a while. It's not so much fun seeing the evil empire just claw the underdog into pieces. Alright. So we got one more person to try to extricate from the tentacles. I don't see any reason not to try for it. I'm not really sure if he wants to move his ball from here. Maybe more towards the center, as I was saying, so he can get to either side when he needs to. The right-hand side is a little bit stronger here, but that could very rapidly change depending on what happens with these two guys. Did it Dreamify, this Nurgle team? Some good recovery from a bad situation. I'm still in awe at the aggressiveness of the Nurgle warriors. The movie with the Ewoks, exactly. Exactly. And Tentacles is a fake skill, as 2 of the 3 elves escape from its clutches. That does mean that this guard here is about to get clawed in the face, most likely. I would not be even slightly shocked if that were what happens. Yeah, let's go with that. We'll cheer for the Ewoks. Clawpalm Blitz. Least surprising thing ever. Oh, that sucks, though. Nurgle's still not getting what they want. Just a push. Every Clawpalmer out there just kind of groans, knowing the feeling. That's a terrifying Nurgle warrior to have in your face. Bogarak the Victorious. I love these names, by the way. All 4 of the Nurgle warriors are quite clever. Furbon the Persuasive is probably the most amusing. Claws are pretty persuasive. Well, dodge does a thing, preventing him from being brutally murdered. And the beast decides that it doesn't want to move today. Thank you very much for asking. So that's got to be a little awkward. Things just got a lot worse for the Nurgle on the right-hand side. They did move another warrior over there. They still have a lot of strength, but these elves are much less controlled than they could be if that beast had actually gone where he was supposed to. Elves now calculating exactly where they want to try to make their push. They do need to start thinking about moving towards the backfield soon, because otherwise they're just going to get totally hemmed in. They're already pushed pretty deep into their own side of the field. I don't hate this. That left-hand side looks the weakest to me. So attacking that Nurgle warrior, especially being able to hit him with Mighty Blow if we want, is not a terrible plan. And then trying to guard that left-hand side. A push on a stand firm is less than ideal. does have another hit, but I'm sure he'd rather have been able to move this guy into a forward position or some sort of screen or something otherwise. And another push on the stand firm has got to have him a little frustrated. Never a good feeling. It was a decent plan. It's a shame it didn't work out. When we were saying earlier that he needs to depend on getting a little bit lucky to win this game, this is not what he needs. Push Wars 3, Return of the Pitch Invasion. Exactly. That's exactly the movie that we're casting here. Alright, so with that having failed, he's now thinking, can I keep the ball safely in the backfield for another turn? Maybe, but it's going to start getting really hot back here soon. He needs some kind of forward presence somewhere. Probably these two guys, since they're not held up by tentacles now, and it's just a 2+ dodge for each of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they headed back, try to do some sort of scoring threat thing. And I do think we're going to be seeing some sort of relay around with a little scary pass. The Elves getting into a situation where they're going to have to score or die soon. Alright, so he's going up the left as hard as he can. Not wanting to get stalled in the back. It's going to be a little hard for the Nurgle to fight back here. I could see a clever blitz with the goat, but the goat's down now. That will make that more difficult. And Mighty Blow does a thing, removing Bipolar Gore. Just a KO, we'll probably see him again, but against regeneration, sometimes KOs are actually better than injuries. Oh, and getting another one on a dodge is just a really oh, and another self-removal. He is not having a good day with his dodge dice. That was kind of unnecessary. So Beast of Nurgle decides he does want to play in this game today. He was just resting, thank you very much. Going to hold down that scary blitzer there. Alright, we are going to punch the crap out of Macchiato, and he's fine. If you were worried for that elf's health. Push City over here for the Nurgle. All of their Claw Mighty Blow useless because they cannot find a POW. Trying to keep them from breaking through there. Nurgle Warrior GFI goes about as well as you expect it to. With another snake. That's 3 this game. Well, no, not really. But first significant negative event for the Nurgle there, other than all the pushes. At least he's not armor broken, right? Things are going to go bad over here now for the Nurgle. He even set himself up with an extra hit here that he didn't need to take because he was hoping this Nurgle Warrior would cover things. Good plan, but oh! Bogorak the Victorious takes an injury that is going to stick, just to badly hurt, but that's huge removal there. Things swinging back in the Elves' direction a little bit after taking him out for the rest of the game. So we have the killer KO'd, and we have one of the scarier Nurgle Warriors removed for the whole game. Numbers advantage, Elves again. Looking at an 8 versus 9 situation here. And especially on the left-hand side, we have a significant numbers advantage for the Elves. I expect to see this guy get punched and a secure position on this left-hand side taken up. And we do indeed punch him, but we don't punch him with much success. If we had punched from this square, we could have pushed to here and got another hit. Instead, he chooses to take the high 5. and take the extra hit that way. Gets him down without an armor break, but everyone that you take out of commission here is a good job. Thanks, Dreamify. It's what it looks like a lot of times when they both down each other. And we're gonna fall back a little bit. I'm not really sure why. We weren't really in range of anybody. Oh, alright. We didn't want the beast to do something crazy. I see. Not a terrible plan then. That must mean that he's planning on trying to dodge these guys off the beast and just leave it isolated. Oh, I was completely wrong. He's going to try to hit this beast. He does have 3 assists. He's actually going to take a shot on the beast. I love punching Beast of Nurgle with 2 dice. It's very satisfying. He gets the POW. Are we going to see a removed Beast of Nurgle? No. Too much to hope for. It does put him on the rookiest of the pieces in that area, which is great. It gets up because, unfortunately, that spot did put it next to a not stupid assist who didn't need to move. Nurgle Warrior spending his 1 square of movement to try to head these elves off. This guy, Sildar the Sanguine, is probably a little bit nervous about taking GFIs after that last one. And I wouldn't blame him. Alright, so we are kind of trying to close up this left-hand side. Rotter tending to the beast so that this Nurgle Warrior can, yes, okay, I see what we're doing. Trying to cut off any safe path up. But, again, more pushes. Really not Lava Jackal's day with the blocking dice. He's just lucky his opponent's having as much trouble with the dodges. Pushing him around like a bully, getting him multiple tagged. Not really optimal here. This Frenzy Goat is dodging out so he doesn't get surfed. Good plan. He's probably safer on the ground no matter what, so don't want to give the elves even more advantage on the field. So the elves now actually have a path through the middle here, and they could take a couple of their elves and like try to potato the ball. So even though he is your best hitter, giving the ball to him and just having him run for it may actually be a valid strategy for getting through this thing. Scoring at the end of the drive and then trying to turn them over on their drive is not a terrible plan, but it's a lot less secure than if he could have gone 2-0 in this half. Alright, so he does not, either he doesn't see that path or he doesn't choose to use it. The handoff would be a little hairy. He is in 2 stink. Instead, we're going to punch this Nurgle Warrior over here. And we're going to side switch to the right-hand side. We can actually move the ball quite far up this side if we want to. Maybe even dodging one of these guys out to tag up the Pestigore. Alright, so he is blocking this